Well, happy Wednesday, guys, and it is Whip It Up Wednesday today. It's a collaboration that I am doing with Linda from Linda's Pantry, Mandy from More to Life, Lisa from Sutton's Days, and Tina from Wilhelm's Kitchen. We started this collab actually just as a one-time thing, but you guys are loving it so much, and personally I'm loving it so much, that we are going to do it now every Wednesday in the month of November. And this is a day where we throw it in the crock pot, we set it and forget it, and we make an easy meal. Something delicious, something nutritious, and something super easy. And I am loving all of your entries into this collaboration. We want you, if you are a YouTube creator, if you have a YouTube channel, if you would love to join into our collab, please do. We are loving it. I am learning so many new meals to add to my meal plan. It's extremely exciting for me. So comment down below, leave a link to your video. Make sure that you give Whip It Up Wednesday a shout out, and let us know that you are actually entering the collab. We've had some people try to add videos from like 4 years ago. We don't want old videos. We know everybody has done crockpot videos, but we really want this to be a way to inspire you, especially if you have a small YouTube channel, if you're just beginning, sometimes being new, you don't really know what to, what to film all the time. So this really is an inspiration to give you an idea of something that you can collab on, with other YouTubers, and maybe more people can find your channel. So we will be adding these recipes to our playlist. I have a playlist going. Each one of the girls has a playlist on their channel going, and we will just keep adding to it as long as you leave a link down below in our video comment section so we can find you. So today I am making it's kind of a vegetarian lasagna soup. I am going to do it meatless. You can definitely add meat to this if you wanted to add ground beef. And the ricotta cheese kind of doesn't make it vegetarian, but you don't have to serve it with ricotta cheese if you didn't want to. So you could definitely tweak this to your family's liking, however you prefer to make it. I'm going to make the soup vegetarian, and if at the end I'll be adding ricotta cheese to probably my soup and Matt's soup. I don't think the littles will want it, and I'm not really sure if Eric would want it. So it can definitely be vegetarian if you choose to make it that way. Or if you want to add meat and beef it up, like I know Matt would love it if I added meat to this, but I'm going to keep this very simple and a very kind of clean soup. So, all right, here we go. To my crock pot, I am going to be adding, I've already chopped it up, it's 1 medium sweet onion, and then I added some extra zucchini to mine because I just love zucchini. So I added 2 large zucchinis and 1, I would say, medium to small zucchini, and as you see, I just chopped it up into quarters. So, and then I chopped up my onion. I'm also going to be adding roughly about 2 cups. This is an 8-ounce package of Bella mushrooms, and I bought them sliced, so I didn't even have to bother slicing them. This recipe also calls for 6 cups of vegetable stock, and I am going to be adding onion stock to mine. It's just another great way to use onion stock up. I'm going to leave the sediment in the bottom. Listen for that nice pop. So 6 cups roughly to that. You use vegetable stock if you have it. If you have home canned onion stock, I think it's a great way to, another great recipe to add that in. I'm also going to be adding a 15-ounce can of just tomato sauce. Alright, so let's go ahead and add that in. I am also adding in a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Mine just happens to have basil added to it. I just thought it would add a little more flavor. We're going to just give this a little stir around. And I am also going to be adding a 6-ounce can of tomato paste to mine, just to make it a little more tomatoey. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add our seasonings. So to this, I am going to be adding 2 teaspoons of oregano. I'm going to be adding 1 tablespoon of sweet basil, and I'm going to make mine a heaping tablespoon because I love sweet basil. I am adding a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, just to add a little bit of heat. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of sea salt, or you can add kosher salt. I have both, but I like the sea salt. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I am also going to add 1 teaspoon of granulated onion. If you had fresh garlic, definitely go ahead and use fresh garlic. I do not, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm adding 2 teaspoons of granulated garlic. Okay, now that our soup is nice and combined, it looks beautiful, it smells amazing. I have my crock pot set to high. It will cook on high for 4 hours. If you have it set on low, it'll be about 7 hours. So if you just keep that in mind if you're setting it before work or something like that. And then after 4 hours, we will come back. We will add our lasagna noodles to this and let those cook up. And then at the very end stages, for the last half hour, we will throw in our fresh spinach. You could also throw in fresh basil leaves if you had some, or fresh parsley if you had some. Unfortunately, I don't have either of those, so I will just be adding spinach to mine. So for now, this is it. We're going to go ahead and put the lid on, let this cook up for the next 4 hours, and I will bring you guys back when we go ahead and we add the noodles. Okay, so it's been about, I'd say, 2.5, almost 3 hours now, and I just tasted the juice of my soup, and I found it needed a little bit more salt. This recipe, and I will link it down below, the recipe that I'm working off of, called for 2 teaspoons of black pepper. I only put 1, and it is way peppery. I mean, it's pretty peppery, so there's no way I would put in 2. I'm just putting in about a teaspoon of sugar, just to kind of cut the acid just a little bit, to make it a little less acidic. And we're gonna give that a go, because now's the time where I'm gonna start tweaking it to the way that I like it, or the way my family's gonna like it. And you can definitely, there's definitely some heat in there from the peppers. I know the red pepper flake, it called for 1/8 of a teaspoon. I added a 1/4 teaspoon, so a little bit more. But I do like the little bit of heat. I just would not, I would not recommend adding the 2 teaspoons of black pepper unless you really, really like black pepper. 1 teaspoon is way enough, and really I could have gone a 1/2 teaspoon. So play around with it, you know, make it your own. That's what I always do. I never really strictly follow a recipe. The recipe I followed also did not call for a can of tomato paste. I like the tomato paste in here. It actually makes it a little bit more tomatoey, a little less watery, a little thicker, which is what I like. So again, your call on that. There's many recipes here on YouTube for lasagna soup. I think I watched about a dozen of them, and then searched online and found one that I liked, that I wanted to work off of. So there's definitely like 101 ways to make this. So, but you can see how much it's condensed down. This was a lot fuller, and it has really cooked down quite a bit. Tastes amazing. And it would definitely be delicious with ground beef if you wanted to add that. So maybe I'll do that next time. Sorry, Matt. Matt was like, there's not going to be any meat in there? No. This is a vegetarian dinner tonight. I'm going to make some homemade bread. And I'm going to make 1 loaf of bread. I'm going to make a recipe that calls for 2 loaves of bread. I'm going to only make 1 though, and the other loaf I'm going to make for Lisa's cinnamon, apple, and cranberry monkey bread. I will leave the link in a card up above to her new video that she just put out today, and I am so making that for dessert to go along with that, go along with this soup as a dessert. And I think my family's gonna just love it. So I'm gonna get started on that and just continue to let this cook up a while longer before we go ahead and come back and add the noodles, which I'm going to be adding shortly to this. And the house smells amazing. Mason is saying it smells like lasagna. All right, guys, so we are at right about the 4-hour mark, and this has cooked up beautifully. Now before I go ahead and add my noodles, I just want to give it one more taste test to make sure that I like the flavor of the soup itself, because this is a soup. That is delicious. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna add my lasagna noodles. I have a box of lasagna noodles. I am going to cut them up into like 2-inch squares, if you will. And Nina is in need of a nap, if you can hear her. Mason must have something that she wants. So we're just gonna go ahead and put those in, and I'm just gonna let them cook up in here. Now I have the oven ready lasagnas noodles, so these should cook up just fine in the soup. You can cook these on their own if you want to, and then add them in already cooked. But to me, that's not really an easy crock pot meal if you have to do that, right? So I would say if you were going to work, you can do the beginning part of the soup before you leave work, and then do the noodles like this when you get home and let it cook up. I'm not going to add the spinach though until Matt actually gets home. Now tomorrow is no school, so I have Eric's best friend spending the night, so I'm going to feed an extra mouth, and this soup is going to go a long way. Alright, so I have all the noodles in there cooking now. I'm going to put the lid back on, let them cook up. I still have it on high, and I will be back when it's time to add the spinach. Okay, just a quick shot of how this is cooking up. Matt will be coming home soon. We'll add the spinach in here. I will say, after tasting this recipe, next time I make it, I will be tweaking it. I do not think it needs 2 teaspoons of pepper. I don't even think it needs 1 teaspoon of pepper. I think it needs probably a half a teaspoon. And the red pepper flakes, I don't know if I'd even add them. Especially if you're cooking for kids. If you like spicy, add them. But if you are not a big fan of spice, or your kids aren't, I would probably omit that. It does give a really good heat. I hope it's not too much of a heat for the littles. I was hoping that maybe the pasta noodles would kind of deaden that down a little bit. But it honestly, it hasn't. So I'm just adding just a bit of water to it. And and hoping that that will kind of dilute it a little bit. And so those are the two things. That's what I would do different. You know, I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of extra sugar too on here, not much, maybe a teaspoon. That was probably a teaspoon. This is why I like to tweak recipes. So definitely, if you're gonna follow the recipe I'm gonna link down below, just know that it is spicy. And if you added 2 teaspoons of black pepper to this, oh, I just don't even know if it would be edible. So I'm just giving you my 2 cents on the recipe that I followed. Cut down on the black pepper, especially if you're cooking for kids. So go ahead and give this another taste here. Adding the water and just a tad bit more sugar has greatly helped. So I don't want to add too much, so maybe half a teaspoon more of sugar, and I'm going to add a little bit more water. And I am going to be adding 4 cups of spinach to this, so spinach might actually help it too. But I am going to tweak it and adjust it here till I can get it the way. That's much better though. A lot less fiery. I would probably omit the red pepper flakes next time. It looks beautiful though. It smells beautiful. And I'm gonna grab another spoon. See if that helped any. Much better, much better. All right, I've got monkey bread in the oven, thanks to Lisa over at Sutton's Days. All right, guys, I'll be back when I add the spinach. Okay, so Matt is on his way home. He's bringing the camper home so I can go through it during the week this week, get it all emptied out. It's ready for storage. So now that I know that he's on his way home, and he is about 15-20 minutes away, this will give him plenty of time to come home and get undressed and eat supper. So this calls for, they say 4 cups of spinach. I am adding a 5-ounce container. To me, that's probably about 4 cups. I did buy the ready-to-eat spinach. So it's already washed and cleaned and ready to go. I'm just gonna kind of stir this in here. And like I said, if you have fresh basil or parsley you want to add, you can add that as well. Just gonna kind of get this soaked in here and allow this to continue to cook. I'm going to go ahead and take it off high now, and I'm just going to put it on warm. My crock pot works really well on warm, and so this will stay piping hot, and the spinach will be able to cook down and all of that. So messy. I was a little bit messy. My crock pot is pretty messy, but it looks fantastic. It smells fantastic. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, so I will be back when I serve this. Okay, so here is the soup, and Mina is loving it. There's Mason, really Jordan, you love it?
Yeah, I already tried some, but I didn't eat a lot.
Right, so there's Big Daddy's. Now, you, in the recipe, it says that you can go ahead and add seasoning to the ricotta cheese. I didn't. I just stirred it in the container and just put a little dollop in the soup. And now, Big Daddy is gonna taste it.
So the ricotta goes in at the end, huh?
Yeah, at the end. It's the nice cool compared to the spicy hot lasagna soup. So
so close.
I know.
The camera's right in my eye.
I'm aiming at your bowl, my love.
Yeah. So you know I don't eat hot stuff, right?
Mmm.
I warm stuff.
It's good. It's really good. It's got a really great taste. I mean, it smells exactly like a baked lasagna, and it's hot. So hot.
It's hot.
I don't eat
And the
hot
ricotta does add like a nice creaminess to the soup itself.
It's almost like a sour cream and chili.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it a little creamy and a little good. You like
Spinach
it? You
is
like
really
it?
good. Spinach
Boys
really
are giving
adds
it thumbs up.
Spinach really adds another whole other layer to it. It's really good.
Good. All right.
It's got
Nina,
that.
do you like it? You do? You like it? It's a thumbs up? Mama, get a thumbs up? Oh, good. All right, guys. So there you have it. It's a winner and really good. Little spice.
Yeah.
Little
got a
heat.
little tang, a little bit. And that cooling of the ricotta cheese makes it nice and creamy too.
Well, there it is. There you have it. So I served it with some fresh bread, fresh baked bread, but there you have it. A nice, good look. It is delicious. So I'm hoping you guys give this a try. I'm fogging you up. There we go. I hope you guys give it a try. If you do, let me know. I think some of you already make this. The only thing that I would say is, you know, take it easy on the black pepper and on the pepper flakes until you taste it. Give it a couple hours, and then if you have to add more, you want a little more heat, add a little more heat. Especially for those of you like me who cook for kiddos, you know, you might just want to test it first. I'll be cutting back a little bit on the red pepper flakes and the black pepper. But other than that, it's fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be seeing you next week for another Whip It Up Wednesday crock pot meal. I already have plans on what my next one's gonna be. I'm loving it. All right, make sure you don't forget to check out all the other ladies. I'll leave their cards up above to all of their videos this week. Again, if you want to participate in Whip It Up Wednesday crock pot collab, go ahead and make a video, give the collab a shout out, and then leave your link down below in my comment section, and I will add you guys to the playlist. Especially for if you have a smaller channel, it just gives you, you know, more eyes on your videos and more people to come around. It just expands our circle of friends here, and hopefully we'll get you know, other people watching, other moms, other ladies, and our circle will just continue to grow. So it's a real supportive community thing. I love it. I love this community, and I love seeing it grow and watching new people become friends. So make sure you go and check out everybody who's on the playlist, and I will leave the playlist at the end of this video. You guys can just click on it and it will pop it right open for you. All right. Okay, guys, I'll be seeing ya. Bye.